Good morning, good afternoon. How are you doing? How is your week? How was it? How is it going? And today is another new month. Before we know it, this year is running to an end already. Today is 1st of November. Happy new month to all of you. So we've brought in another topic. As usual, connect and reflect will bring you relatable topics that will connect with you, and we can all reflect on it. So today's topic is out of many topics that we've seen, and that is very common. There was this viral video of a second wife who was rigorously praying. Oh, first wife who was rigorously praying for the second wife at the wedding. Let me say it again. There was a wedding ceremony where there's a new bride coming into a family, and the first wife, who the second wife is coming into the family, was praying in Jesus' name for the wife. And that brought a lot of controversies on social media, that the woman had been silenced and bullied to pray or manipulated to accept the new bride. Some were saying, oh, that's maturity, like she welcomed it, there was nothing she could do, she just have to accept it. Some were saying that she's playing maturity. And so a lot of people are saying, somebody has really tampered with her mental health, that there's no first wife that truly loved the second wife that will pray fervently and rigorously for her in such manner. That something must have been done to the first wife. I mean, the mental health of the first wife. What is your opinion about this topic? That is why we would like you to join us in this conversation. Don't forget to comment, share your views, and also share your thoughts on this topic. Can first wife of any form, of any age, truly, genuinely love second wife? Jesus is Lord. Because that woman was praying, as I really want it to be for me, it should be for you. And I wanted to do. The woman was praying so good, oh. You to be so convinced, like, hey, is it really true love? Is this how true love works? So, does that really mean that this first wife genuinely loved the second wife? Or they have touched her brain, fingered her brain to accept this new reality for herself? Thank you for joining us, Mr. Jashegon. How are you doing?
Hi, good evening. Fine, thank
Good.
you.
It's been a while here. Where have you been?
Yeah, I've been around. I've been around.
We don't get to see you here anymore.
Well,
Well,
don't worry. I'm going to be more consistent now. I'm sure
please,
I'll be more consistent. Apologies for my
inshallah.
absence.
Because all your fans have missed you. Everybody, they know this bass boost.
Right?
We've missed you.
Yeah.
Some of us, we always sugarcoat the truth, but you say it as it is.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's,
Let's do that today.
that uniqueness of you always be spot out.
So let's do that today.
Let's do that today, really. So, I don't know if you saw that video of the first wife who was gorgeously dressed and laying hands on the first wife, second wife rather, the new bride. And the new bride was heavily pregnant, and she was praying for her safe delivery. She was praying for a peace of mind in the home. She was praying. Like, do you think they would truly have that peace in that home? And when you saw the video, what came to your mind?
Well, to be honest, I think when I saw the video, I just skipped. I just passed. I didn't have an opinion. You
Mm,
understand? I got skipped. And the reason is because issues on relationships and marriage is usually very difficult to jump on, to predict, or even to weigh in on.
mm,
So one of the things I try not to do is to bother myself about things that I have absolutely no control over. But from the video, it looks as if the woman is being sincere with the prayer she's doing. I don't think, in fact, the sincerity does not even matter. A prayer is a prayer. So what matters at the end of the day is how they are able to,
Cohabit.
let
Cohabit.
the old and cohabit together. And look, I've always said it that what we see on social media most of the time is not real. Yes, just because she's praying for her does not mean that they will not be able to cohabit easily. I've seen, um, and this is the irony of life that I want to talk about now, and this is a life drama. I have seen a man that is married to one wife in Lagos that lived his whole life miserably, and I've also seen a malam in Lagos that has 6 or 10 wives in Kano and is going to live longer and is going to live a happier and even a more fulfilled life. So I've learned that these things, are not just, there's more to it than meet the ordinary eyes. So because she's praying for them does not mean that they will not have a good marriage. And it also doesn't mean that they would have a good marriage. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? When I saw it, I was like, somebody has fingered this woman's brain. Like, oje gbakam, oje joko, oje majekele kali endi everywhere. You know those, petty petty thoughts. I was like, no woman likes to share their man, especially if the man is good. But if a woman is praying that just go and bring anything, like I'm not like she's not bothered. That means the man is not good. Come and carry where I stopped. Like come and carry him. I don't even want him anymore. So it's either from that space, maybe looking at that woman, she should be in her late 50s. Maybe she's like, okay, but I've tried enough to you to come and carry from the way I stopped. Like I want my liberty. I
Not
want my freedom.
necessarily. Not necessarily, to be honest. There are certain religious beliefs that allows even the first wife to propose to the husband to take a second wife. There are certain religious beliefs that allows it. Yes, I have read a real life story where a man was married to a particular lady, and the lady saw that her friend was finding it difficult to find a spouse, and she convinced her husband to take her friend
Hey, you are
as a
very
second.
alone. I'm
Yes,
very
it's a real. So there are religious beliefs that allows people to do these things. And look, we are getting to in fact, we are getting to a point in life where there are more women in this current dispensation that are willing to become second wives. To be honest, there are more
alone.
women in this current dispensation that are ready to become. When we were growing up, being a second wife was like a taboo. Nobody wanted to do it. But now there are more women who are willing to become second wives. So do not strike out the idea that a first wife can actually be happy that the husband is taking a second wife.
Hmm.
That's one thing I've learned from this current generation.
Hmm. Ah, so I will tell you is so that she can hear her view. But what I know is like, òrìṣà jẹ́ pé méjì obìnrin kò dénú. Èyí tó bá dénú, ó lọ wá ayé nínú. I will say more
Well,
than
well, that's
I will say
well,
more than
that's
that.
the people that gave this particular adage, right? They
Mm-hmm.
have questions that we should ask them. That when they talked about this adage, were our forefathers not marrying multiple wives at that time?
But ṣó dénú ni, truly, truly, ṣó dénú
In
ni.
fact, the reason in this current dispensation, right, we have been able to, to prove that the reason why our forefathers, our grandmothers, great grandmothers felt like they were discontented at that time was because there was not enough money. There was not enough money. When there is money now, right, women don't even complain of unhappiness in marriage until when they want to blackmail their husbands of domestic violence. They flaunt
Ah,
and pretend. Yes, they flaunt and pretend that everything is fine, that there's no trouble in paradise until when they want to allegedly accuse their husband of something that we cannot verify. And that is the truth. You
ah.
asked for you asked for
I
this before we started.
I know what you're saying. But anyways,
Are you sure you have the ability to take it?
I can't even start anymore. Please, I cannot talk. Oh. You
You
see,
know,
is that what you will
that's
say
the
on
truth.
that case?
Look, the truth is the truth. When you know how many times they made some women feel as if they have failed because they could not find a spouse and all of a sudden, we now start hearing, you know, different accusations that somebody is on cheap drugs, somebody has to go to rehabilitation center and all that. So that particular case is proof that the reason why most of our great grandmothers even were not really cool with that arrangement was because of the poverty at the time. It was because of that. Maybe not the whole reason, but that was part of it. But it's good that we are discussing this topic today after a few weeks when we saw the drama and all.
Ah, maybe I should have just brought that topic. Maybe I think it looks like you have a lot to say about that, like I like that topic. But
Not
anyways,
really, not really, though. Not really. They are all interconnected.
okay, no problem then. So now let's look at, do you think that prayer of that woman was genuine, knowing that this person is coming to compete with me? This person is coming to my space. This person is coming to what I've worked so hard for, emotionally, physically, and financially. When this man you want to marry was on one shirt,
Mm,
you were not there. So do you think that that prayer was
mm.
truly genuine, or just like, let me camouflage so that people will not say I'm the bad woman here, let me just say the prayer so that they don't call me names, because we know the society will put her in a spot. Why will you call her to pray for the second wife in the first place? That is manipulative. What's our business with
Mm.
praying for the second wife? What's our business? It's like me. Okay, each time I just you say is double standard. Like, it doesn't just make sense. Somebody's married, he cheated on you as a woman cheated on the man. You got pregnant, and you're not saying, "Hey, the man, go and pray for the husband of you that want the woman that got your wife pregnant." That's how it is. Like, you cheated me, you rub it on my face, and you still put me on the spot to pray. So, do you think that woman genuinely love, or just public display to protect her image?
Well, to be honest, right, I feel like you cannot even identify or know if whatever anybody does during wedding ceremony, and that's why I don't like parties and I don't like wedding ceremonies. Even the musicians that you bring, right? They are obligated to call you the most beautiful person if you are not, even if you are the ugliest. So most of the emotions that are being shown on events like that, you cannot be able to ascertain if it is true. You understand? So at the end of the day, whatever that woman has shown that day, I think is a good move, is a bold move to publicly pray for her like that. And I think the most important thing for me is that God answers the prayers that she has made. Whatever, innuendos that she has in mind, you know that she could not exhibit, that's her business. You understand? But I think her even making the boldness to be able to pray, it's a show of, maybe it could just be a charade, it could be a drama, you understand, to pretend as if she has accepted that. But at the end of the day, we have to still wait down the line and see if the marriage and the relationship will not be a charade, like the other lady's own was a charade where we thought, there was peace in paradise, and only for us to, find out later that there was hell was burning in paradise. So at the end of the day, time will tell.
So now, most of the time, a lot of people cover their bad character with, all those narcissistic behavior. This
Mhm.
woman, so to say, I'm just speaking, like, she may have the deadliest character, and she will come out being the nice person to everybody. Now she has prayed, will think she's good, and she'll be nice to this lady, but under, gaslighting or doing some things that will trigger the second wife to talk, then they will now, so that they can label the second wife as the bad person. So I feel like people like this who are not expressive of how they feel have the most terrible character, because they will give you the good attitude outside so that this is what people want to see, and they will just do what people want to see, but underneath they are doing the craziest thing. Who thinks that after that prayer she's not going to go to one baba to come and incite the woman or probably spell her? So this is what I'm saying, like, was that prayer really necessary when she's a hot person? She's a victim here.
Honestly, I still don't know why people see her as a victim and people see her as um she's been manipulated. To be honest, I don't see it as manipulation. Like I said, there are certain cultures. In fact, there are people who will tell you that it is not it is not our culture to that monogamy is not our culture as Africans. There are people who will tell you that. There are people who will tell you that monogamy came to Africa as a result of the introduction of Christianity. There are people who will tell you that, and there are people who will give you like facts that they can use to justify that. And that aside, we all have different religious beliefs. We have different religious backgrounds. You understand? Some of us come from different houses of different, practices there. So just judging and saying that the woman has been manipulated and all may not totally be right. That the woman is supposed to be the victim may not totally be right. You
Mm.
understand? What if there are facts in the union that we do not know about that requires her? And this is possible because it even happened in the Bible. I don't even want to talk about it. It even happened where
It's
a woman encouraged the husband to go and take another woman. Yes,
show they know. Is she
it doesn't
pleased?
matter.
Is it not,
It
is
does.
it not because
It does.
she was on a point that she can't have a baby? Is there a choice that she can't have a baby? Do you think she's
Is it his
happy
fault?
she doesn't have a
Is it
baby and
his
she's
fault?
helping her?
Is it his? At the end of the day, is it his fault too?
Is it
It's
her
not
fault
his
too that she
fault.
cannot have a baby?
It's not his fault. He's not the
It's not
one
her fault
directly
too.
responsible. Yes,
Is
she
she,
should cry to
is
God.
she directly responsible? See, I will not agree on this. Topics like this, I will not agree.
You don't have to agree, but the facts are facts. You don't have to agree. It's not anybody that sent any woman to go and mess their life up in the university and now expect, yes, and now expect that you will now have a God. See, in fact, some people are saying now that God, before you can be called a God-fearing man, they would have used your head to wash toilet. The woman must have used your head to wash the WC or a gentleman. So the gentleman is what the woman like. The women that have really messed up. That's what they like. But that's not even where I'm going to here. Where I'm going to is there are different issues and different scenarios that can actually warrant for her to willingly support her husband to take the wife. Not everybody is a Christian. Not everybody is a monogamist. That's the truth. Not everybody is a monogamist. That's the truth. What if it has been talked about already before they married that, look, I'm not going to marry one wife. Oh. And the marriage that we saw was not a court marriage. In that thing, it wasn't a court marriage. It was you
Mm.
can see, it was a traditional marriage that you can be able to legally continue to marry as much wife as possible. You are not bound to one. It's like you saying that you married a Muslim now, and then you say that you are bound to marry that he must only keep you and only you as a wife. That's not right. That's not true. So all we have to work with are incomplete facts. The fact is we saw her praying and we assume that she's a victim and that she's not supposed to be, accepting that particular situation there. But we don't have all the facts. What if she actually likes the situation? What if she's even the one that suggested the wife or the husband? What if?
Mm.
Yes.
Whatever the what if, somebody at one point have manipulated her into the what if. I also more than that. So now, can two women really live together? Thank God Tayo is here. At least Tayo will be like stop for women small. This one that this side that want to carry me to where I don't know. Thank God you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing? Thank you, Network,
I'm
for
very
bringing
fine,
that your
thank
opinion.
you. I'm very fine.
So let me ask you, because you put in on the chat that two women can actually live peacefully. Do you think that two women can actually live peacefully without hidden competition or resentment? If I agree, okay, let's assume the first wife, she's a nice person. She's ready to accept the second wife. Do you think the second wife is ready to want the first wife to still maintain her spot? Or a woman and
Well,
woman,
that is why I said that it depends. Some religion actually accommodates more than a wife. Okay, some religion actually accommodate more than a wife. Because for example, if Christianity accommodates more than a wife, there are some people who will, out of religion, even tell their husband to marry another wife. All right, I've seen a home where it is more than a wife. There are two wives, and they actually lived in perfect peace. What I only notice is that the younger wife can be a bit edgy, but the senior wife is very mature. She has a way of just managing the second wife to the point where the second wife cannot even misbehave. Plus, the second wife too is a bit mature because sometimes we women we can be very, very funny. Despite the fact that the other person is trying to be matured and accommodate you, you can still want to. Some women can do like if their head is something else. But I've seen a situation where it actually happened. But the truth is that this Yoruba adage that says that "Báńpé méjì obìnrin nílé ọkọ kò sí" is actually true. It's true. Because the affection is divided. Women by nature are attention seekers. Now, if you have been given the first wife, even the first wife, you don't even give her attention enough. Now, they are now two, they are now three. Your attention is divided. So it will take a lot for a woman to accept that she's no longer having this person to accept, especially the first wife.
mm,
Because plenty of the time, the second wife tends to get more attention than the first wife because she
mm,
is new. So she will have a lot of things, the husband's eyes, the husband's attention, the husband's pockets, the husband's bed. She will have it most of the time. So it's actually not easy, in all honesty. It's not easy, but it is something they just tend to accept. And that the woman actually accepted the fact that her husband is marrying a second wife and she's praying for the woman. She actually accepted her fate. She might
mm.
not be doing that in a position of abandonment, or probably she's forced to do so to just pretend. She might not be doing it as such. She might just be doing it out of the willingness of her heart. Plus, some women, they actually want their husband to have second wife because their husband is a handful. So that
Yes.
at least there is somebody
Yeah.
else that
Maybe
will
that's
help them
yeah.
manage this madness. It will not just be them. Sure, you understand? So it could be anything. And she might actually sincerely be praying from the bottom of her heart to the woman that, finally, thank God, let us share this person's wahala together.
Yeah.
So, and it might be that she genuinely wants the man to have a second wife. Probably his sexual urge is high and she can't deal. So instead of him philandering everywhere and bringing disease home for her, why not just marry a second wife? And though many of us would not accept that, really, somebody like me would not, but then i, I think it might not actually really be from it might not actually be from a point of disadvantage from her side. Actually, it might be something she is willing, and then we can't tell, she might be pretending too. We can't tell. She might be pretending, and when the wife comes in and she will show her shege banza, we are not in their home. We don't know what is going to happen or something. We can't tell, but it can be either side of the coin actually.
Yeah, because that is exactly what I'm feeling like. Like it's from the place of Tigbakam. So now it's possible for the first wife to say, okay, my husband is handful, because that handful, yeah, if anybody accepts second wife, it's from the place of handful, like well, let's you. Somebody should come and share this wife so I can be free a little bit. So I know from that perspective it's possible. But sometimes you can be in Lekusiyon and somebody's Lejosie. in the sense that you wish the wife is in that space, you guys should enjoy together, and the wife is looking for how she will send you away from that spot, rather, you know. So how do you measure it? So everybody comes to its defensive state, everybody is protecting their space, because as much as I want you, I love you enough to come here, but I don't know what you have in mind for me or for my children. So then you have to, as you are sleeping, you want to keep your eyes, one eye open in a polygamous home. Is that not too emotionally draining for whoever is in that space?
Well, I think that is also dependent on the husband. All right.
Uh,
So
uh,
the husband that wants to marry more than one wife, according to that religion, that actually accommodates it. It's also accommodate that you should be financially buoyant to provide for both parties. In fact, you should be financially buoyant to live in your lifetime properties for both parties. So normally you're supposed to get their own places for them. Unlike now that you rent one bedroom flat, you marry two wives inside the one bedroom flat. That is actually because I have a lot of friends from that religion, and I tend to ask them questions, and they are always willing to share. You know, so it's not the one that you, because naturally women are jealous. That's the truth. They are territorial. We are territorial. We want what is our own. Okay. So, and in a case where you are not given a clear divide about that, they tend to fight for what is their own. Because if you put down the food and you don't say that, okay, I will be sharing this food equally for both of you, there is tendency that one person will carry it and walk away. All right. So that way, we just want to protect what is ours. That is why their tenants actually indicates that you should give a clear difference for everything you are going to give to them, and you should not be biased. Okay. But the part of being biased, they don't always read that part. It's the part of you should actually marry as much as you want. That is where they used to read. The part where you have to be equal to all of them, to love them equally and to care for them equally. They don't always read that part. It's the part of where you can actually marry as much as you want. That's the one they used to read. So normally that is dependent on the husband. You that you want to marry more than a wife, you should be financially buoyant to take care of them. You should be financially buoyant to take care of them. You should be financially buoyant to give them their different apartments, so that in the long run, probably when you die, there won't be need for anyone to kill another person to get something for our children. Because
mm,
we've seen situations where properties turn children to enemies. Children that were once united while their father was alive, the moment the father dies, because they are not from the same mother, they become enemies. Even the ones that are even from the same mother, God, they become enemies. How much more one that is actually not from the same mother? They become sworn enemies. They begin to do all sorts just to acquire property. So in your own lifetime, you are supposed to be clear about your properties and your stand.
And we've also seen situations where the man is able to provide for all the wives and all the new wives, and at the end of the day, the wives come out and blackmail them and accuse them of things that nobody can be able to prove. You know, even though these are the women that first started telling us that I'd rather cry
in Lamborghini.
in a Lamborghini than this. You know, at the end of the day, even though you are saying now, Tayo, that the man should be able to provide for all of them. Yes, the man provides for all of them, and he still becomes demonized. Still, they get to accuse him of
The thing
accusations
is
that are
that the
not
lady went into the
substantiated.
marriage. I'm sorry,
We're not even talking about why the lady
Mr.
went to the marriage yet. I'm just responding to
The
your
thing is
point
that
of
she went
you
into the marriage
saying
with
that
all the
you
wrong
saying
reasons.
that if you want to take multiple wives, you should be able to provide for them. There are examples of those who were provided for
See,
properly, and the wives came out to accuse them wrongly also. So people play
Wrongly.
their part,
all right,
allegedly.
I think in my own opinion, I don't know. In my own opinion, it might actually not be the truth. I think she went to the marriage with all the wrong reasons. The truth is that money
That's
alone
convenient.
cannot
That's
keep
so convenient
polygamous.
for you to say now. Now that things are falling apart, it's convenient for you to say that
The
she went
moment
into
I
for
heard,
the wrong
the
reason.
moment I heard that she
Don't
was
don't
marrying
retract
the
your
man,
points
I
when
knew
you
it was
said
not going
that.
to be long.
you don't retract your point where you said that as long as the man is able to provide for all of them, it's okay. The wrong readings don't matter here anymore now. As long as he's able to provide for
I'm
them,
just telling
it's
you.
okay.
No, 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 no. You are getting me all wrong. I'm telling you what the other religion,
Yes.
what it's how will I say it?
The rule
What the
they
religion
follow.
actually preaches. That's what I'm
Yeah,
telling you. And
I
the thing
understand.
is, according to this one that is crying foul now, she said there is nothing in her name. According to this one crying foul now, from a particular story I read, because the truth is that I'm not even interested in her story. I've never read any of her story. But the one I managed to come across, it was even the headline I read that she does not have anything in her name.
Hmm.
All right.
And that's
That was
manipulative.
the headline I read. I didn't bother
That
reading
says
the
the
story of
man that you
the
have
breakdown
nothing
of
in
what
you.
he said.
Why should
That the
she
man
have
does
it?
not give her the
Are you
room
supposed to have
to
something in
have
your name in
things.
your husband's house? Are you supposed
Yes.
to? Yes, you can do that on your own funds, not in your husband's funds. If your husband
No.
is going to buy something for
Your
The
you,
man
husband
he
can
can
can.
buy
buy
He
anything.
car
can.
The
for
man
you
is
in your name. Your
Why?
husband
Are you
can buy
planning to
house
kill
for
him?
you
Are you
in your
planning to buy
name.
him?
That is possible.
Is the husband? Is the woman planning to buy him? Why? Why can he not have it in his name, knowing that she's going to be for her and her children? Is there a hidden agenda that we don't know?
It's
Anyways,
no.
not about
that's
aging agenda. This person has children for him, yes or yes?
yes.
Did she not have children for him? If he buys a house in her name, is that a waste?
And since she has the same logic, since she has
No,
children
talk to
for
me. Is
him,
that a
why
waste?
does he
If
have to be
she
in her
buys
name?
a house, even if she
Do the
decides to
children not
leave,
carry
if
their
he
father's
buys a
name?
house for her, is that
Polygamous.
a waste? For
Do the
someone who is the
children
father of
not
the
carry their
children,
father's names? Do the
Okay.
children
Okay.
not carry their father's names?
Hold on. Hold on. Ajashego, don't you know that whatever the man has, because he has multiple wives, it's going to be shared. But whatever
it's
you
going
buy
to be
for
shared.
me,
That
it's going
is
to
what
be
I'm
my
trying to say.
own. Because he has multiple wives. If you buy it in your name, that means for everybody. I want the one I can call my own that I don't have to drag with people. And that's what she
Yes.
requested for.
And
Because
just
she
in the
knew what it
spirit of
was.
just in the spirit of what Tayo said about treating all of them right, right? There's no
Mm-hmm.
proof here that he has done individually for every other wives. Though this is a digression on the topic for the day, but there's no proof that he had actually bought for other wives in their names.
And it's
So
good. It's still a what if, what if? What if he had, and you just say you're still going to stay longer? I don't want you to run away yet. I'm still going to hold on to your house. Because he knows that his energy should, if not for money, who's going to? That's how she's on. Let's move on. Now, I just
The
check.
man is an old man. He has
Exactly.
been around for too long. She's a young girl. She can decide to wake up tomorrow and say she's no longer interested in the marriage. This
Exactly.
the man understands, and this it is trying to play out. And one of the way you try to keep somebody in your wings is by controlling what they have, and that is what the man is doing. And she's tired of being controlled. If you are
Exactly.
going to marry multiple wives and you think you love them enough, you should love them enough to buy them their own properties in their names.
Exactly.
But he wants to put his rings around her so that she doesn't go. And now she just wants what is her own. She's not
the
asking for
men,
too much. Well, I'm
see,
actually not
Tayo,
interested in the
the men
relationship.
that will follow this advice, we normally call them dodoyo. Have you heard
No,
of that
it's
before?
not like you
The
are going
men that will not follow
to,
this advice, they are the real dodoyo.
they are
The
the
men,
manipulative.
because I have
No,
seen
no
men that
man.
even in their grave they will be crying because of
No.
writing their own properties in their name
Ajashego has gone to take
and
a
not
event.
dividing it into the families, into the wives you have married. It is
Ajashego.
those ones that have been built dodoyo because in their death, their children
Oh.
will fight to get it and they will destroy the legacy that he has ever built.
Yes.
So if you want
Ajashego.
peace for yourself in your lifetime and after your lifetime, and you decide to marry more than one wife, you have to give them their property individually according to the wives, and you make your stance clear. This
Mhm.
property is for you and your children. That way, you are buying your afterlife, so that when you
Good.
die, you will sleep in peace. Your family will be
Good.
intact.
Thank you.
So those ones that
So the
don't
man
do
was
that
just
at
doing it
all,
to keep the
that they
lady.
keep
He
their
was
own properties in their name, they are the main dodoyo because when they die, people will swear for them
You
because
see,
the family will be so destroyed. that if they
No.
were alive, they will kill themselves again.
Yeah, so this you see, this actually usually happens to people who enter marriage from very poverty-stricken background. They eventually go into the place and then they go to
So,
wrestle for.
after this, we are going back to the topic, okay?
Yes, so I think we should go back to the topic. Anyways, let's go.
So now let's talk about that religion thing. Do you think the religion, both religion, now because this woman actually prayed in Jesus' name, so that means they were Christian, or
Mm.
probably that woman is a Christian, maybe the man is a Muslim, we never can tell. But this woman prayed in Jesus' name, so I want to believe that's a Christian family. So do you think religion and culture, because they're doing traditional marriage, pressure women to act strong even when they are feeling hurt?
I think our culture sometimes can be very confusing, and I think we have too much double standards as people, right? Today, one of the most alarming stats that's out there is out of 10 girls, 10 marriable girls, 10 girls of marriable age, at least 8 of them are still single. Out
Mm-hmm.
of 10, go check it out. Go online, go see matchmaking platform, you see single people everywhere. Now, when you talk to people about this, they begin to advise them that look, if you know that you cannot find yourself a man as a first wife, begin to consider to be a second wife. These are advice that people are actually giving now, like everywhere. They begin to tell you that look, you're not getting younger, you're not getting this, you're not getting that. You understand? And the truth is that if you look at how many people, everybody, this thing now is not about a selected set of people. Everybody has a plethora of people around them, and this it's more of women who were supposed to be married maybe earlier that are not married for one reason or the other. They couldn't find a spouse, which maybe their fault or not their fault. So now,
Yeah,
having said that, what is the practical solution? The practical solution is for them to be married by people who are eligible to still marry them as first wives, or people who can afford to take second and third wives. That's the truth. And now, when that happens, we're still the category of people that then begins to ask if this is what happened, if that is what happened. Look, I always say something, right? Marriage is not by force. It's not by force. If he decides to take a second wife and you're not cool with it, you have the option of walking away. That's the truth. But see, people now saying that um she's been manipulated, she's been pressured to pray
ah,
for somebody is not something that I personally accept. And not everybody still will think the same way. Not everybody has that same assertion. I tell you again, because we are Yoruba people in our part, right? We are so educated that polygamy is not something that we agree to at all. But if you come to the
mhm.
north, it's something that is easy for them to agree to. You understand? So
You
I'll
know,
rest
because
it.
those, okay, talking about if you are not pleased, you can move your things out. This same set of people will tell you that you are moving out is the dodo, that you left your all that you work for another woman to take your space. You let another woman chase you away from your home. You know, things like that are being said and make women stay there even when they are not happy there. Like oh, this is it's not like fighting for space. This is my house. Somebody is coming out, and I want to move out of my house. And somebody, like, why will you leave your house for someone else? Like, stay there and fight for your home. This other person is coming with digger. You are now coming with sword. Now become fighting every day. This house that you're trying to protect, God has broken the first day your wife or your husband disrespected you by marrying somebody over you. So he broke the house. There's no house anymore. All you just have to do is be the warrior and they have come for us. Look, oh yeah, you warrior. So you now come fighting every day. If you are not fighting for yourself, you are fighting for the husband, you are fighting for your children. Till the rest of your life, you will not have peace in that home because you don't know what the other person has in mind. If in open, when you are in polygamous marriage, we can see everybody's mind. Like, it's gonna be the moment you come into polygamous, you must have a transparent mind. Like, I can see what you have in your mind for me. You can see. Then it should have been good. But you don't know what that other person has in plan for you. So
No,
you
you
have to
don't
be.
have to. You don't have to. That's the truth. Look, again, I don't like to talk about relationships and marriage, but you always push me to talk about it. So I was married before. Yes, it didn't work out well. I have not
If you had
considered.
known what she had for you, you would have known earlier. But because you know she be back.
Yes, but that being said, when it happens, if it doesn't go well, you find a way to move out of the space and start afresh. That's the thing. Nothing is do or die. In fact, there's nothing in life that is do or die. It's only heaven that should be do or die. Nothing should be do or die. Nothing is what, if you find yourself in it and you feel like you're not being you are not fulfilled yet, you cannot endure it and all, please take a walk. That's the truth. If anybody other person feels like that's the place that the person wants to go, at least we can see now that somebody willingly took a walk away from the Lamborghini. Somebody decided to leave the
Well,
Lamborghini
because
behind.
she has exit plan. Oh, she has exit plan.
The exit plan is still going to be a Toyota. It cannot be a Lamborghini. But
But she
she
just has a
just,
plan. Unlike
at
somebody
least.
marrying on you that you have to exit where you've not planned.
Why should you not, what does it mean for a woman to have a plan? And you see, these are the things when we talk about gender equality and what women, when we now start talking about what women bring into marriage and all, and then when we now feel like the marriage is an investment for the woman, she has to wait for her to be able to get something before she exits.
You don't understand. Bayo, please help me explain to him.
When a woman is coming into the marriage,
Mm.
actually, she's coming alone by herself, knowing that as she's going into the marriage, she's not the same again. The
Mm-hmm.
same way a man too is not the same again once he gets married, but the same again is not the same. It's not the same. The woman lose everything.
And the man does
She
not
loses.
lose anything.
What did you lose? You lose your
Can you
sperm.
please let her land,
You lose
please?
your sperm. You gain children that they will call you father. They will take over your name. So what else do you lose? You work
What else?
extra hard, which is what the Bible told you to do in the first place.
Yeah, what does the woman lose to?
She loses everything. She loses her
Yeah.
woman anatomy.
What
She
does that mean?
loses. She is stripped. She is stripped of herself. She
How do
goes
you?
through labor.
Can you
See, she
please
gets
let her land,
pregnant
please, first?
for you. She
Please.
goes into labor knowing fully well that her life can go for this. For a
Oh,
child that when the child comes and she die, after 2 weeks, you start looking for another girl to cover up for her. They will say it is not good for a man to stay alone. Then you go and look for another man, another woman to marry.
no,
Those are
when
the
you talk,
things that she goes
when you
through.
wait, hold
If
on.
she goes
When,
through child, if she goes through, calm down now. You were the one that said something. If she goes
yes,
through VG delivery, she's still not sure whether she's going to come back alive. If she goes through cesarean operation, she's not sure she's going to come out alive.
how is that
So
a
she's
man's
having a
fault?
50.
How is that a man's fault? In fact, labor, the labor you're talking about, it's all women, it's a woman's fault. The
Then
reason
she'll
why
go
a
through
woman goes
labor,
through
I'm
labor.
sure. The children are going to be bearing the woman's name, I'm sure. Tell me what I don't understand, Mr. Ajashegun.
Yes, so this is what you don't
The children, they
understand.
are going to be bearing the woman's name.
No, they don't have to bear the woman's name. The woman knows how to manipulate the
They will
children.
not even bear the woman's name.
Hold
They'll
on,
bear their father's name.
they know how to
Their father's
manipulate the
DNA.
children.
They get their
Well,
father's DNA.
if they carry their
They
father's
are
DNA,
actually
actually,
standing in place of their father.
if
They have nothing to
yes,
claim in their mother's house anymore.
no, if the children
And
are
this
actually
woman
the
will have to
fathers,
take care of, for a responsible woman that you are getting married to, she will have to take care of these children for the rest of her life. She will wake
it's
up
not
early to tend for the children.
it's not just her
That's what
job
I'm
to
saying,
take care of the children.
for a responsible woman that you are getting married to. Her
Mm.
life is divided from the day she get married to a man.
No, I think that
Because she will tend to the husband, she will tend to the
I think all
children.
your submissions
See,
are
for the
just
rest of her
emotional.
life. The
Your
least
emotion,
problem in
your
a woman's
submissions
life
are purely
is
emotional.
pregnancy and delivery.
Yeah, your submissions are
Because
purely
we are
emotional.
emotional being. If you
No,
understand
no,
some part of what women are going through
you
from the
cannot mix
place of their
emotions with the
emotions,
facts.
then you will
You cannot
understand a
mix
lot of things
emotions
that
with
they
the
are going
facts.
through.
Okay, can we pause this?
Okay, let's be logical. The
No,
No.
if you
children
want to be
now,
Ajashegun,
logical,
who owns the
Ajashegun,
children? Because
Ajashegun, please.
that is
Let
why
her
DNA.
let
Now
her
let's
land
be
her point,
logical.
then you
When there
react
is
to
a
it.
DNA, when there is a fraudulent DNA, why does men cry foul? Now let's be logical. Why do they cry foul? Because it is not their own. The moment the child is
because
their own, it's already their own. There is nothing you can do about it. If the child likes, he should love the mother more than the father. You will come to realize that this is your father and there is nothing you can do about it. The children are the fathers. So let's be sincere with ourselves. So try, whether you want to be logical or you want to be emotional, both ways, women are actually giving a whole lot in the marriage. So the least you can do is to actually, if she decides to leave, at least let her be able to take care of the children she has for you, because you cannot even take care of the children in the first place. How many men can actually take care of children?
Can you? This one what is you they stay house. Ajashegun, can you? Now I think she's wrapped up point, right? You cannot react to it, Ajashegun.
yeah, well, I think the point was well said. However, I think most of the points I was said was strictly emotional. I don't agree with anyone saying that when a woman goes into marriage, that the woman typically loses a part of herself. Then don't do it. Then don't do it. If you know you're going to lose yourself, don't do it. That's the truth. So I think the both parties tend to lose. You know, I think even on the long run, like I think what your submission um, is subjected to a short period of time. On the long run, the people who tend to benefit, you know, from the children, the most are women. Stats have it that the woman, the mother is knows how to play her games very well, such that there's no matter how much the child is able to provide for the father, the woman would always have an advantage over him. Yeah, that's the truth. So at the end of the day, who tends to benefit more? Who tends to okay? If you say that it takes a toll more on women, why do men die early than men in marriage? Why do men die early than women in marriage? Even
Is it my
given
age?
given women, you need to go and check it again. Men die earlier than women,
It's
especially.
because we are a
Hold on,
talking being. It's
hold on.
because we are a talking being. Men bottle up a whole lot. If I'm going through
Hold on.
something right now,
Don't speak for men now. Don't
calm
speak for
down now,
men.
Mr.
You
Adefemi.
spoke for women. Don't
when
speak for
when
men
I'm
now.
going through something
You
right
can't speak
now,
for men. I
I
will not
I
allow
can
you speak for
call
men today.
2, 3,
No,
4, 5
you will not speak
friends
for
and
men. You
talk.
will not speak for women
How many
and
people
speak
are
for
going to
men at the
discuss
same
what is
time.
bothering you?
You will speak for women. You will not speak for men. Don't tell us the reason why men die early. You've spoken for women. You said
Go
they
and check
don't.
statistics.
They lose
As if
half
that
of their
particular
this. They
statistics
lose
I
half
check.
of
Go
themselves
and check the
when they go
statistics.
through when they are trying to have a child. And now I'm asking why men now die early. Now you are now saying it's because they bottle a lot of things. Is it? Imagine it's because they
Check the
bottle a lot of
statistics
things.
now.
Having said that, women lose half of their being while they are in marriage. But of course, the discussion is not about men versus women, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I still want to reiterate that for the woman to pray for the second wife like that is not something foreign. It's not something foreign. It's something that you and I can witness.
Then
Yes,
you
it's
have to
something you and I.
understand me.
It's
Me,
something
I
we
will not
can
witness it.
witness. It takes a lot
Me,
of
I will not
You're
emotional.
witness it
actually
in
correct.
Jesus'
It's
It
not
name.
takes
something for it's
it
something that is
takes
actually predominant in
no,
Yoruba land.
this is not the comedic part of it now. This is not the comedic part of it. It takes a lot of emotional
No.
intelligence. It takes a lot of emotional intelligence for you to see for you to accept somebody who is supposed to be a potential rival as a colleague. It takes a lot of them. And there are households, hold on, polygamous household that you agree with me were peaceful. There are polygamous household who you agree with me, they succeeded. I know one of my friends that I did not know that they were from a polygamous household until later we got into the university. They coexisted so easily. Their fathers, their mothers existed so easily that we couldn't find out. There are people who are able to do it. That's the truth. Just because you and I choose a life of violence does not mean that other people cannot be able to live a life
Yeah.
of peace.
Mm.
That's the truth. Just because, of course, I know what your reaction will be. You too, you know what my reaction will be.
Mm.
Of course, I know. Just because
Mm.
that's how you and I are built, Kamagunge, Kamagombe, does not mean that other people are like that. You understand? It doesn't mean that other people are like that. There are other people that would be in that same situation and be able to apply emotional intelligence and handle it better. What I'm saying is, a lot of people will bash that woman, will criticize that woman, say that that woman has been manipulated, that that
Yes,
woman has
that is
been
my
this
son.
and that. But it does not totally mean that that is true. That's the truth. At a point in life, right? I would always say this, and this would take me a lot of courage to say. I would always say that I couldn't ever consider ever maybe settling down with a single mother. But now it's not a decision that has been made, but it's something that I begin to look at from different perspective now, and I can probably encourage somebody to settle down with one that is good, to be honest. And the same thing comes in here, because a man takes a wife as take another woman as a second wife, does not mean the first wife has to be bad to the
Mm.
to the woman. And I'll tell you, my friend, very good friend, closest colleague, it still amazes me how he does it. I am unable to keep one woman. He has three wives and is able to manage them effectively well. And these people coexist. I have been to parties. I have been how they treat. Maybe when I am around, right? Maybe when I'm around, they tend to pretend. But whatever he does that makes them comport themselves like that in the public, well, I need to just learn that skill and be able to apply it to just one person.
No, it's
Yeah.
abuse. He has a way
How is
of
that?
abusing, manipulating, being a narcissistic to handle those women. There's no
And
special skill in that.
that's what a
That's
feminist will
not
say.
true.
Actually,
That's not
that's what
true.
a
No,
feminist. That's what a feminist will say.
Kilo first, what is it that you want to tell a woman that will make her calm down and accept, if not brainwashing her and finger and brain?
I got
it's
somebody
not.
pregnant.
The thing
I
is,
got
I
some
somebody
got
women
somebody
pregnant.
can
pregnant.
Ngba
actually.
Yes.
tó ń lọ, Ngba tó ń lọ, do you remember me? When you were doing it, do you remember me? Now you now went, you do know your nonsense, you're not coming back
He
and
was
say,
under the
I'm
influence.
pregnant.
He was under the influence of alcohol.
That influence will not cover you now. That influence has covered your life. Okay. Oh yeah, Dada, you want to say something? Mm.
I don't think some women are actually comfortable being the second or the third wife. Some
Because
women
they came
are.
out, because they came from one, probably. So they are
Probably they
used to
came.
it. They have been manipulated into it that it is a good thing.
It might really not be. Some people actually really love the idea of marriage. A lot. See, the way we women are wired, we are wired to be married. Actually, we we are okay, we are good with companionship, all right. So if someone is not getting a husband to marry on time and she is actually aging, she will likely consider being the second or the third wife. And in all honesty, she's not going to disturb anybody. Why? Because in the first place, she is okay with herself financially. She needs a husband as a covering. So women actually needs a husband as a covering. As much as I will say that marriage is not the
Just
goal,
the
but
covering,
it's
right?
actually one of those. Yes, I'm talking about women. Marriage
Yeah,
might
but
actually
they
not
just
be
need
the
the
goal,
man just as a
but
covering.
And they say, can you
what do
let
you say?
that land that point to your law? Have you killed?
I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question to that effect, that where can we find such women?
That use man
There are
as
a lot
covering.
of
We
them.
all have our men as covering now.
As only
Our
covering.
men
Listen to
are
our words.
covered.
No, listen to our words. You have to play this video back when we are done. Don't put don't
What did
don't change
you
our words. She said they are already
what
financially stable, they are already this stable, they only just need him as a covering. So
Like they would just want
yes,
to be married. They just want to have a
husband
man
is
of
a
their own.
covering.
exactly. That's why I'm saying,
Husband,
where do we find them?
there are a
Ah,
lot of them.
it's
There
because
are
you don't.
a
You
lot
always
of them.
you're
I
always running
know
after these
lots of
TikTok
them.
girls. And Shagu, if you go to where women that are financially okay are, their circle are different from these TikTok girls. Oh.
Yes,
Don't
there are
insult me.
lots of
Why are
them.
you
Their
mentioning
circles are
TikTok
different
girls with
from
my
this.
name? Why are you mentioning TikTok girls every time you talk about me?
TikTok
Because
girls.
a lot of these TikTok girls, they just come online and start throwing bomb
Please stop
bombs.
saying
You
TikTok girls.
understand?
Stop
But
repeating
people
TikTok girls.
The
really no,
circle
it's just
of hardworking
okay.
girls.
I
Girls that
retract
do work
that.
for
I retract
themselves.
that. But there are some people that are actually online that their job is actually to throw bomb bomb. You know that,
Exactly.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I retract the TikTok girls. Okay, so women actually need covering. That's the truth. Women need covering, and their cover is their husband. And
Okay.
a lot of times we mistake our covering as financial stability. I'm not against the fact that you should marry a man because of his money, or if that is what will make you happy and is willing to marry you, go ahead. But actually, it is beyond financial stability. All right,
Mm.
your husband is supposed to be your covering spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. All right, your husband
Yeah.
should be your covering, should be your leader, someone that can actually lead you. All right, because the thing about women is that we can be too powerful as to destroy things, but when you have a man, a solid man who can actually lead you, all right, it gives you caution and direction in love. And really, that is what the Bible said the husband should be. You are supposed to husband your wife. The word
Or
husband is
wife.
from the word husbandry, where you tend to a plant and you ensure it grows and becomes better. So the duty of a husband is beyond finance. Though a
Mm.
lot of times we
Yeah.
tie finance to them, which is actually not out of place. Your husband should actually be a provider. If you look at, in fact, aside from Christianity and Islam, if you look at the fundamental religion too, it is the duty of the man to provide for his immediate family. So it's actually not out of place that a man should provide for the members of his immediate family, his wife inclusive. In fact, his wife first of all, his wife first of all before every other member of his family, because the moment you marry that woman, she becomes an integral part of you. All right. So,
Mm-hmm.
and as much as I would say that some women can actually be something else, which is actually through, there are a lot of women that will give you peace, and there are a lot of men too that have peaceful wife at home, but they are the one bringing the war into their own home by their own hands. If a woman is comfortable being a second, a third wife, I'm not against it. So far it is not to my husband, no problem.
Same,
All
go.
right, I'm not against it. If the first wife agrees to it, why not? I'm sure there are some wives that will willingly want their husbands to marry a second wife for reasons. I heard of there was a time I went somewhere and they said that the woman, they were burying two women together. So they said the first wife, people used to think the second wife is the wife of the man, and the first wife was actually the elder sister of the second wife. I heard that she was the one that brought the second wife to her husband, that the man is still strong and active. So she's growing old. Marry someone fresh. All right. And a lot of people don't know that the children she was taking care of were half her own, half the other woman's own. And she was able to take care of them. And in fact, they buried them together. When the first wife died, the second wife couldn't take it. She died too. They buried them together. They did their burial ceremony together. Okay.
Mm.
So there are situations and instances like that, which is good. And it is important that when you are a first wife and you are in a religion where your husband is allowed to marry more than you, I think it is important you have a discussion with your husband about it. And that is before you get married. Because the moment you get married to you, you know that the religion is binding on both of you,
Mm.
except he is the one that doesn't want it. If you are going to not allow him to marry another woman in that religion, I think it is something you're supposed to discuss before marriage. Not go
One
and
of
kill
our
your
own
husband
religion
and
that
want
they
him
do
to
side
marry
chick.
the second second wife, like the one we had that they want to give pardon. I don't know. So don't go and kill your husband trying to marry a second one or trying to bring one in. So it is something you have to discuss before marriage so that you both be clear on what you are actually going into. So this is my own submission.
Yeah. Adeshegun.
Yeah,
As much
yeah.
as we are trying to put this narrative, you've forgotten that most of the time I always talk about we understanding and putting ourselves in the shoes of others to understand what they're feeling. If we if you were to be in the shoe of the first wife, being the first husband, if there's a case like that, is the possibility that you also accept it? Probably, oh, my wife mistakenly got pregnant outside by
Mhm.
mistake. And she confirmed, and she came back to me apologizing, like, I'm so sorry that I got pregnant, I cheated on you, blah, blah, blah. I was human, and to hear is human, to forgive is divine. I started preaching to you. Will you accept?
I don't think accepting is the issue here. I think I think pretending to accept and then becoming an agent of chaos is the challenge here.
Mhm,
I don't sit on the fence on most cases. I tell people
mhm,
where I stand. If I can't take it, I
mhm.
walk away. And usually in this kind of scenario, I'll probably walk away. I'll probably walk away without any drama. You understand?
Okay.
They have a right, people have a right to, declare affections for themselves and feel whichever way they like about themselves. You
Don't you
understand?
feel don't you feel
What
that the
we're
woman
saying,
you tamed, the woman you spent so much on, the woman you have built life together, the only woman you know is walking away of your life, how will you feel doing that? A
exactly
woman you
my
spent 20
point.
years together and makes such mistake and you want to let her go. Is
Yeah,
it easy to
exactly my
let her go?
point. It's anybody now. I put it to you, and I put it to everyone watching was that also anybody in this current 2025 that does not occasionally think it that is possible for them to maybe lose their spouse to another person is not being realistic. That's the truth.
Okay.
The the stats and what the order of the day is marriages break, unions break, relationships break, even the ones that we don't see coming break. So any wise person, now I'm not saying anybody's union or anybody's relationship will break, but any wise person will take that as consideration that any of these things can happen. The statistics says that close to 70% of unions break.
Where you see
So
this your statistics?
knowing, in fact, over there where you live, the stat is more than 70%. So you
Social
don't want to
media.
go, not social media, not even social media at all. So, but the truth is that the reality of it is that a lot happens. A lot can happen within that short time. And one of the things that I think helps me to really be sane these days, especially even about everything, about life, about Nigeria especially, is expect the worst.
Hmm.
That you not be shocked. There's nothing anybody wants to come and tell me that Tinubu is going to do tomorrow that I'm not expecting. I expect it. I expect it. So that you are not shocked. There's nothing INEC wants to do now that the only time in my life when I I learned not to expect the worst was when I became shocked. I became shocked. I was stunned, and I led to depression. And the bigger lesson from there is expect the unexpected. So you will not be shocked. You understand? So for me, I would say if I was in her shoes, I would take a decision whether if I can take it, I would stay and take it like a man. If I cannot, I would gradually walk
And the
away.
same society will tell you, why did you walk away? Because I know of
Of
a
course.
story like that where the wife walked away and the society was started blaming the wife. Why will you leave your man for another woman? Now look at them, they're not enjoying life together because the man went back to the woman that the second wife. So like why will you leave the woman? You know? And why will you leave your man for another woman? And that is it.
No,
They will not
see,
box the woman
those
also
people are
again
myopic.
for walking away.
Those people who normally say that are right, they are myopic. The reason why she walked away is not
Although
because she's not.
I
It's
just
not.
want to cut you off
It,
that you said that 70% of marriages are breaking. I think that is not correct.
okay, so
This
hold
is one
on,
point.
hold on. I've told you. I've told you several
6
times
is the
that.
highest,
Hold on now.
5
Hold on.
out
Hold
of
on.
marriage. So that's your statistics is actually very wrong.
Statistics is very correct. Go to the court, the Lagos court. Go and make your inquiry about the
Mo
Lagos court
mọ̀ pé bí ká máa
of
lọ
divorce.
nìyẹn.
Hold on. The stats is within
Because
the marriage
if
of the 4 years.
10% of marriages are breaking. Okay,
The
oh, you said break.
marriages within the first 4 years. That's the stats. It's not
That's not
generally you
what
want it to be. Of course, I didn't include that when I was talking, but I have said that stats over and over on this show. You understand? And I didn't want to forget the point I was going to make, but I think that has escaped my mind now.
Oh, sorry. So we're talking about those people that left in their marriage. That people talk to them like, why did they leave? I think did that help?
Yes. So I was saying that um people expect that when you leave, you have in your at the back of your mind that the person you left should fail. You
Mm.
understand? You expect that the person you left should never be happy again, that they should go through karma. And I think living is not about what actually happens to the person you left. Living is about what you want, the kind of life you want, the kind of peace of mind you want. So I've seen people who begin to tell the other person that see that person that you left, see the life he's living, see how he's doing good or how she's doing good and all. And I always, I don't respond to such things. The reason why I don't respond to it, and I always encourage people like that never to respond is except you left because you wanted to teach them a lesson. And leaving to teach anybody a lesson is stupid. Live for your own safety, live for your own peace, live if you feel like your life is threatened, you understand. But don't live because you want them, life is not a Nigerian movie. Life is not a home video.
So it was
That's
the woman left,
you.
the man made it. So it was like people were now making her regrets. Like, why did you leave? Look at the man you
Exactly.
left has
So
now made
and
it.
that's it. So she left. She must have left not because she did not know that the man can still make it. She left because of her peace of mind. She left because
Mm-hmm.
she felt like
She doesn't
she
want to
can
share the
eventually
man.
keep like she can eventually kill this guy. Like she will not be able to control herself. So let me just leave. So it's always important to emphasize the reason why you left and never let anybody, blackmail you into thinking that you made a wrong decision. See,
Exactly.
I always tell myself one very important thing. There's no price too much, too big to pay for your peace of mind.
Hmm.
There's no price too big for it. True. Look, I had to leave my comfort zone for me to be able to have peace of mind in a place where people felt like, no, this guy no go get peace and all. And I'll tell you, there's no price. If you have to live alone, if I have to live alone for the rest of my life for peace of mind, I will do it and I'll do it again. Yeah.
As well. So, tell any last word. Is forgiveness good? Oh, sorry, not like that. Is forgiveness and love in polygamy proof of strength?
You have to learn to forgive consistently, even if it is not polygamy. Forgiveness is what is constant in homes, and the reason why we are seeing a lot of separation and divorce is because couples are not able to forgive themselves and all of those things. So it's forgiveness. You can how much you see things and sometimes not reacting to them will require you to forgive.
Hmm.
So forgiveness is not something debatable. Forgiveness is something that you bring into the marriage because it's something you can't do without your spouse. If there is anyone that will see you finish, is the immediate members of your family. So
All
also in
right.
the polygamous home, same thing.
If
Because
it's
ìyàwó
speaking English.
kékeré will see the ìyàwó àgbà finish. Ìyàwó àgbà will see the ìyàwó kékeré finish. And men being men, because of what they want, Okwe, if one wife is asking about the other one because they want to do, they will start spilling beans. She said this, she did this, she's trying to do this. So your secrets are not like that's safe in the hands of your husband like that, like that, like that. Sure you get so you have to in in a situation like that you have to have wisdom. Then you have to learn to forgive. Like you have to learn to forgive plenty of times. You can't do without forgiveness because you get frustrated. You you get hungry along the line if you don't to forgive. All
Hmm.
right. So
But
forgiveness and maturity is very important in that kind of a situation.
okay, there's some forgiveness that are not somebody cut your finger off, or somebody intentionally did something that that it was intentionally done, and is asking for forgiveness. God forbid somebody intentionally kill somebody that you very dear to you want, and somebody say, "Hey, I'm sorry, forgive me." Is it easy to forgive?
Death is
Ewo.
actually an extreme one.
Ẹ̀kọ́ là kúrò lẹ́kọ̀ọ́
Death
jàre ẹ̀kọ́ ò
is
pọ́là. O
so
lọ
in the
lóyún
earth
fún
where there
o
is
ò ṣe
no
ráìnà
death.
nìkan o. O lọ gbóyún wálé ẹ wá ń béèrè forgiveness. Amúyọ̀ǹda o, mo yọ̀ǹda o. Àmọ́ because it's easier
That's
said
why
forgive for
Ajashegu said you will decide whether to stay or leave. That's what Ajashegu
now
said.
there are some people forgiveness is a strength. Now the person that refuses to forgive, that is hurting, that refuses to forgive, you now emotionally blackmail the person as if he has done something wrong for not forgiving. Ẹ fi oníkálukú lé o.
If you don't forgive, you have the thing is that forgiveness is quite important. But if you are not forgiving your husband for
We should
what he
not force
has
people to
done, and
forgive.
you are
Don't force anybody to forgive.
Forgive.
don't force
Don't
you.
force people to forgive.
Don't force people. Even as a Christian, I don't force people to. I don't force people to forgive. Only the person knows the pain
Well,
that
what?
he or she is feeling. You don't. You can never know. How is a recommendation. Give it as a recommendation that if you can, let it go. And if you don't let them go, you go hell too. Now you know.
Exactly. But
So,
a lot of
aside
time we
even
blackmail
from
people
the
into
hell, the
forgiveness.
fact that you did not forgive the person, you will be hurting yourself more.
That's
Because the person
blackmailing.
will
Let
not
me
be.
hurt myself. That's
It's not
that's
blackmailing,
blackmailing.
it's
That
the truth.
is a way of
It is the
blackmailing
truth.
to
If
let
you
me
have
feel like,
people in your mind for too long, it is you that you'll be having chest pain. The
of
person might not
course,
even feel
because
it.
you want
I
to.
chose to
So you
have the
can
chest
decide to
pain. Please
forgive
let me have
and
the
not
chest pain.
forget.
You
You
just
can
want
decide
to.
to
You just
forgive and
want
not
to
forget.
convince it
And
on.
if
You
you
just want
know
to
that
force.
the marriage is
This is
not something you can stay in, you can choose to walk away. They brought the pregnancy after all.
you just want to force people to forgive. That's what we do sometimes as Christians.
Exactly. We
You
do it a
must
lot
forgive.
to
You must
force
forgive.
people
If you don't forgive,
and
you
make
yourself.
we don't validate their feelings. We
No.
don't validate it as if they're doing too
Maybe
much.
Your
maybe they
feelings
Just
can
are
let go, let go,
eventually.
let go,
validated.
let go.
Maybe
But
they
for
can
your own
eventually even forgive.
feelings' sake, you know that unforgiveness actually brings about bitterness.
You are black. This is also another black
That is
gaslighting.
not
All you are
blackmail.
saying is
See,
gaslighting. You
if
don't have
you
to tell me how it
if you are
makes me
living
feel.
in unforgiveness, you can likely kill the person you are not forgiving if you have the opportunity to.
All you are saying is you are just
So what you have
gaslighting
to
me.
get being a murderer?
Just
That's
leave
not
me alone.
gaslighting. That is the
Leave
But
me.
is
honest
there
truth.
Leave me alone.
You
When
can
Tayo,
I'm
choose to forgive
ready.
Tayo,
and not forget and walk away from.
Tayo.
See, you can
No.
even
But
forgive the person and walk away.
why don't you validate the person's feeling first? Why
Your
don't you
feeling is
understand the
correct.
person's pain first
See, your
before telling
feeling.
the
I
person
don't know how
how
you
to
want to
cope?
see it. Or not, I don't know how you want to see it. But the truth is that your feelings are valid. Very valid.
Despite you are
Okay.
Your
forcing
feelings are
me,
valid.
you are
The truth
forcing
is
me
that
not to feel
if
it. You are forcing me to forgive
no,
and to
I'm not
live
telling you not to
Swallow
the
it.
feel it.
real pain I am
I'm
feeling.
telling
You are
you,
forcing me to
there is
forgive
difference
it,
between
forget it.
forgiveness and forgetting. There is difference between forgiving and forgetting. Two
I
different
say I'm
things.
not ready to
There are
forgive,
people in
but
my
you
life
are
that
forcing me. I
I
say I'm not ready
forgive
to
them,
forgive now,
but
but you
that
are
thing they
forcing
did,
me.
I should not forget. No, I'm not forcing you.
I say
I'm
I'm not ready
telling
to
you.
even forgive. Forget it's not forget now. I say
And you
even the
don't forgive
forgive.
is your own now. What is it? Is
Ehen.
it me? You are not.
Wait, you wait for
It
me
is
to.
your
But
life.
now
You
you are
have to.
saying that I'll be having chest pain. Oh, you are saying that. See all the things you are telling me just so that I can begin to feel bad. You are saying that I can kill if I
No,
continue
you
not to
don't have to
forgive.
feel bad though. If
I'm
you don't want to
capable of
forgive,
killing
don't forgive.
somebody.
Keep carrying the unforgiveness. No,
So what you are saying, like
it's your life. It's my life. If you
you
don't
are adding
forgive
more
it,
to the
the
pain
thing
of
is
the
that,
person that is
like I
already
will
pained.
tell people, I will tell you, this is just an advice. You are free to do whatever you want to do. That's what. Whenever I try to
It's not an advice.
advise
It's
people
it's
or counsel,
gaslighting. At the point where the
it's not
person is
gaslighting. I
hurting,
will tell you, this
it's
is my own
gaslighting.
stand.
You shouldn't be
This is what
advising
I
somebody
think
that
is
is
right,
hurting. That
but it
advice should
is
not be given to
subject to
somebody
your
that is
decision.
hurting. Why will you be advising somebody that is at a pain of pain? At that point, that's when you
Not
now
to,
want to be telling him
to
to,
forgive.
to, to neglect
So
his
the
pain.
advice that you should forgive is a wrong advice.
At the time that you're giving it is wrong. somebody that they just went and slaughtered his family in Makodi, you go there as a Christian missionary and tell them to forgive.
Why will you are getting all of these things mixed
Will
up?
he not eventually forgive? He will eventually have to
No, you are
forgive, but not at
How
the
will,
it's
point
not
where,
how will
everybody
he
that
even
not
heal?
at the
eventually
How
point
will
where
he
he's
forgives.
heal?
feeling the pain, not at the point where he's still
You
How
are,
will
you
mourning.
are getting
even
all these things wrong, though.
He has
I think
not.
you are getting
You are the
everything
one. You
wrong.
are the one not getting it.
If
You are the one not getting it right. We
no,
know that forgiveness is inevitable, but the
exactly?
time when you are preaching it has to be a time that you have to think very well. You cannot say somebody who is going through pain, who is grieving, should take your forgiveness
Advice.
speech at that time. Why not let him heal first?
So
Why not
exact
let him?
another thing is like until we learn to put ourselves in people's situation before we learn how to speak to them. Take it like if
Right.
I was
the
the
thing is
one
that
this
when
happened to,
situations happen to
Right.
people, wait, you are getting all of these things wrong. When situation actually happens to people, that's not the time you tell them to forgive.
It's not
No,
when they
it is
happen.
when you realize, calm down now. It is when you realize that they are consistently living in unforgiveness. That is when you come in and advise them to forgive. That is if they will take it.
but you don't tell them that
But
if they
something
don't
happens
forgive, they
to you
want to
today.
pay.
You don't blackmail them. You don't gaslight them.
That is our point. You don't tell them that if you don't forgive, or
Gaslight.
even if
Which
it's
one
taking
is
you 2 years,
gaslight? I don't understand.
you,
Which
you
one
don't
you
is
don't
tell
tell
them.
gaslight
them that
inside?
they
The way
will
you
have
are using
10
this
pay.
gaslight is
Yes. No.
strange.
You see, you please try and check the meaning of gaslight if you don't like
Wait,
the way we
calm
use it.
down, calm
Wait,
down.
hold on.
Today
No,
now,
hold
wait,
on.
for
You
example,
two to calm
today,
down. You two calm
today the
down, lady.
husband
You two
brings
calm
a
down.
woman
See,
home. Calm down now.
see.
Wait,
You two calm
for
down. Wait. You
okay,
hear me
fine.
first. Hear me.
Yeah.
Hear me first. See, we talk about when. Do you know what gaslighting means? When somebody is already wrong, or somebody there's a situation where somebody is already wrong, but just in your ability to twist and change the storyline, you now want to you want to use emotional blackmail for the person, and that's what you're doing when somebody who is already feeling down about a particular situation, that is unable to forgive somebody, and then your own next choice of words is a threat
If
that if
you
you
don't,
refuse not to do it,
if you
this
refuse to
is
do it,
this is the fate that you are likely to suffer. You want to just force the person. We are
so you
not a
know what?
military regime.
It is not that what you are saying is wrong,
I
Tayo.
don't know what
It is
people
how
are
you
tagging gaslighting, and I don't know what people are tagging threat, but I will stand on my truth.
When
If
okay.
you are
a
living in
conditional
Can we
statement,
unforgiveness
bring
for
see,
that? I
too
will talk
long,
to
when
you later, I
and
swear.
I notice,
no,
calm down, you
Laila,
said your own, and I notice this is not a threat. This is a sincere advice for everyone who is
mm,
living in unforgiveness for too long. It is important for your own self to forgive. It is not everybody that has the capacity to forgive, like you are
or
trying to
else,
say it. That
or
person
else
knows
what,
that on the long run, he or she will forgive. There is no
or
or
else
else
what?
inside. It is no
You
or
said the
else
person
inside.
might die
It is a
early before, or
choice.
the person will have
It
chest
is a
pain.
choice.
You have withdrawn the statement.
And
The
let it
statement is
go,
incomplete now.
so
There
that
was an
you
or
can have
else.
your own peace. But if you
That's
don't
the
want to
threat. The
forgive,
threat has been
it's your
completed
life. You
now.
can choose to do
The
whatever you
threat has
like.
been completed.
But
You
my
only
truth is
change.
still
You
this,
you you
and I
remove the
will
word
stand
or
on it
else, and you
any
put so
day,
that
anytime. That it is
a threat is
important
a threat.
that as
No
time
matter how
goes
you
on,
sugarcoat it,
you
a
forgive
threat is
and
a
let it
threat.
go.
A threat is a threat. No
Anyways,
And
matter how you
forgiveness
sugarcoat it.
does not negate justice. Maybe that is what you are trying to say. Forgiveness does not negate justice. That I forgive
mm,
you does not mean that justice should not be served.
Why do I have to forgive on your
I
terms?
don't
Why
understand
should
where
it
you
be
people
on
are
your Christian
driving it
terms?
to.
Why should it be on your Christian terms that I have to
okay.
forgive?
Can we
It's
just continue this
optional.
later
It's
in
not.
somewhere else?
If you choose not to
Why should
forgive,
it be
that
on your
is your
terms?
business.
No, that's
If you
I
come to
can
me,
the
if you
tell
don't
problem
come to
you
me, it's
is
not my business. But whatever
on
makes
the
you come to
terms,
me for an advice,
on the
my
terms that if you
candid
don't do
advice
it,
will be that you should forgive. If you choose
or
not to,
else,
it is just an advice. It
or
is just an
else.
advice. If you choose not to, it's your life. I can't
If
live
it
your life for
finishes,
you. I don't know how
see,
you.
if
The
that
truth is that I
advice
don't know how
finishes,
you feel.
if
I
that
can only
advice
try to imagine it.
I like, if that
So if
advice
you are not
finishes
going
with a
to take it,
conditional
it's no
statement,
problem.
it's no longer
And
an
advice should
advice.
not be a do or die.
No,
Advice
if
should not
you
be
are making
something
it
that
do
you
or die,
must
when
take.
you say or else, you have made it do or die. When you say or
okay.
Or
else,
else how?
Tayo,
let's
can you just let that
Or help.
let okay. Not that girl.
You said that if you don't, you are advising them to forgive, and then you went ahead and now put a conditional clause there that if you do
What's the
not
conditional
forgive,
clause?
you will likely die early, or you will likely start having
Diet.
chest pain. Yeah, chest pain. This program is recorded. Don't
Who
worry. If you
does
don't
say
remember,
diet?
you said it's recorded. This program is recorded. If you don't remember, you said it. It will be played back for you. Trust me.
You cannot
You
chest
said it
pain.
that.
You cannot
You said
chest
it.
They
pain.
said
The
with
way
the
That's
I
the
court
said,
of
truth.
law.
see, you will
It
you
is you
your
that you will have
words. I'm
sleepless
telling
night.
you, I'm quoting
It's
the
not the
words.
person you have
I'm
chosen not
reporting
to
the words you
forgive.
said. You said if you don't forgive, you may likely lose your
Yeah.
life, or you may have chest pain. Why you they put fear for my mind because I no forgive? Why you they feel this? You want to scare me because of say I no forgive? I say I never ready forgive. Now you don't they use fear, they threaten me, Abby.
Well, live in your
That's the
unforgiveness
situation.
now. Who is
That's the
stopping you from living
situation.
in unforgiveness?
That's the situation. So now that's why I said it's
What's the
gaslighting.
situation?
It's you
You
threatening
can
me.
choose to stay in your unforgiveness and carry your chest, your pain in your chest.
This is
That's
your
the truth.
tone, Tayo.
But
This is
me,
your
I have
tone
lived
too.
in
Like
unforgiveness,
that
and
idea.
I
It's
know
not
how
too good.
painful unforgiveness can be. That is the
Tayo,
truth.
okay.
So
Tayo,
if I am talking from my own
Tayo, we know the truth.
perspective,
We are
you
just
should
testing you.
understand
Tayo, we are
that
just
this is
testing you.
my perspective. What
Tayo,
did you
don't
I
let
say?
know.
Tajasheko stress you. Don't let Tajasheko stress you. Leave
But
this
you
He's
know
topic.
not
that
stressing me,
goal.
but I'm just standing on my own truth. He has his
Let
truth. It can truth. He
your
can
truth
choose
is
to live in
known.
unforgiveness. That is
Your
him.
truth is known.
But for me, that is
Tajasheko,
my perspective. Whatever
Yeah,
that's
make you
true.
okay.
bring your matter to me, you should know, first of all, that whatever advice I'm giving you is based on my perspective. So
Yes,
it is now left for you to either take it or leave it. That
I
is your
know.
business.
Good.
So he's not
So this
stressing me.
is
I'm
all
just
that we have
standing
for
on my
today.
own truth.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate Tajasheko. I know you come with your basbo. See, Tayo is not fair. Tayo that
Yeah,
usually talk
it's been
to
a while
family
we do
gently.
this, right?
See, you're stressing that my Tayo now. She'll come like she's now drained. Like, hey, Lataro. Tajasheko ne pa mi. Sorry, Tayo. We are so sorry for stressing you, for making you strain your voice, for making you yell so that your voice can be heard. And you see what you have caused. But see you again next week. Bye.
Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.
All right. Bye.